All right. Third time's a charm. Ah, we got it. We're working. Holy crap. I've like... Yeah, I fixed it. It's being really weird. I don't know why. But we're good now. We got it. Just post this real quick. I got like 8 tabs open right now. Just one sec, guys. Make sure we're all good here. Just consolidate these tabs. So many tabs. All right, we're good now. All right. I think I switched it. Yep, we're good. Let me make sure they're both muted so I don't hear them either. Okay, never mind. There's like a... Yeah, it's probably just latency. All right, we're all good now. All right. I haven't streamed my game in a while, but I've been working on it, so there will be some stuff that's different, but not too bad. Currently I'm working on creating storage. I've thought about it a lot, and at the current state, we kind of have what I was calling virtual storage, where it's not really real. As in, the storage is actually just a list in the code. Like, there's no, you can't see the storage except for the book. I want it to be physical. I want it to be like Card Shop Simulator, all those simulator games where you actually have to like... That's where I think like games like Gas Station Simulator kind of sucked, because you actually never picked up an item from what I remember. It was a while since I last played it, but you kind of just picked what was on the shelf and boom, you had it there. So I kind of don't want that. I feel like I want it to be an interactive game. I want you to have to do things. So oh, you don't bring live on 5M scripts, but unfortunately I don't understand English. If then right. Huh? I don't know what you mean, man. But yeah, I don't like not having like actual storage anymore, so we're gonna fix that. Store UI. So this will fix this. All right, yeah, compile it. Let's go. Chop shop. Chop chop. So yeah, we'll get this all set up in Dandy. So things, for example, in storage UI. So it's going to be the same thing pretty much for a lot of our other things. So like, we got our disk core, which is our display. If I just grab the UI here, I can just yoink a lot of these and throw them here. What is autofill? So we actually don't. We only need in stock and the image. That's all we actually need now. Let's make the public void item to hand button. There we go. I think that's actually what we need there. And then we just need a reference to the canvas, private canvas. And then I need my typical UI functions. So we'll just take this here, put this on the bottom, which will just change everything. To make sure it's correct. Actually, we will keep some of these. Yeah, we'll keep some of these and then we'll add them back later. But it's kind of very similar to what I already have here. Setup is really just open UI or close UI. It's literally just the same. I don't need these. A lot of these I don't really need. Obviously, we're going to need some other functions like to know what kind of item to display and such, but I don't know why I call that current item ID. I'm pretty sure that is not right, but yeah, for now it's fine. Let me actually go back to here and we'll just get rid of that for now. That's good for now. Okay, so now I need to create a new interactable object because we need to obviously interact with the storage crates. So to start, I'm really torn because I like this little village that I created, and so what I decided to do was this little village is going to be like the tutorial village. So you start in the stall and you learn how to play the game here. And then once you make enough gold, you can I think I'm going to have like a person, like a magistrate or something for the kingdom, like over here or something. And you can talk to him and then you can buy a shop in the city, in like the main city. And then more features will be unlocked. So for right now, these are your 3 storages. So you can store 3 different types of items. You can display 2 different types of items also. But I need to actually implement said logic. I'm going to close all these out. So it's actually, I built a very easy thing to a very easy interactable like kind of core, so I pretty much only have to add like layer mask logic for what happens when you interact with it, and then I can just copy one of the ones from above and redo it. So it's actually pretty easy, but I'm actually need more logic anyways. But each of these crates will need their own core to implement logic. Because the UI is... There's one UI for each one. Or no, there's one UI that we reuse over and over again. So we don't have to keep creating new UI. But each object needs their own core. Usually I wouldn't put the model and the script on the same. So we're gonna actually do model like that, and that will be fine for now. Probably will go do and redo some of this, but oops. And then this one just needs the same thing, but left. And then another thing we can do is model, go through all of these and get rid of these mesh colliders, and go through these and add a box collider for each one. Oh, excuse me. Oh, crap. Did not mean to click one of those. And if we turn gizmos on, should be... Oh, I thought it was going to match the box. I gotta mess with it now. I should all be able to copy all these over anyways. 0.5. Nah, 0.85. 0.8 probably good. 0.8. 7, 6, 6, 6, 5. Yeah, 7.5. Good enough. Did I move this one up? Oh, I moved it up. There we go. We want to make sure they also don't overlap, because then we might have a problem with how they might have a problem with how is selecting them, so we have to be kind of careful there. But besides that, I mean, we have enough buffer room on each of these, so. And then all we have to do here is give them the storage layer, and then we got to make sure these models don't have it, because they don't need it. And then each of these will get the core object, and then all we need to do now is, instead of disk core, we want store core. Storage. We're gonna need to get to here. Oops. Then we field, serialized field, public, interaction, text. Forgot to add a data type string. Get set. Here we go. So then we just need to go here and just do this. We actually don't need any of that. Just need this. And then we just do storage dot on interact, which on interact is a function that needs to go into here. Public void. And then this will just reference the UI. But I actually want to know, what did I do for Discord for on interact? Oh, okay. I made, that's an instance. Okay. Samutin, hello. Let's make this. Not this. Storage. Is singleton. And then we literally just do kind of the same thing that we had there. We just do store UI dot instance dot not open UI. Just like that. Where are you from? I'm from the United States of America. And then that should be good. Another thing we need to do is on start, make sure. Oh, we have to get the canvas reference, obviously, and make sure canvas.enabled is set to false. Do I want to know? Do you want to know where I'm from? I mean, if you want to share that, sure. I mean, it's up to you. Take the hand. We just call this. We call the take to hand. And then leave UI. We just call the close UI button. Finland? Nice. Okay, now I believe each of these can actually pick what I want the text to be. Which is kind of obnoxious, but it's fine for now. I'm not too worried about it. Nice. Something's wrong with that hitbox. Aha, that's what it is. It's those walls. I need to go to shop displays. And then these walls need to be defaults. This needs to be defaults. The only thing that should have the hitbox, or the only thing that should have the shop display is just this one. None of these other objects should have that tag. I used to know Agent. I don't remember. I got into it a little bit, but didn't get very far. It's still colliding with it though. I need the ray to. I need to ignore those. Here we go. Okay, let Let me make sure the... Okay, good. It's working. Hooray! Alright, so now let me actually... Let me copy this. Copy position. And then let me reset this just in case. And then we will prefab this. And then paste the position back in. Oh crap. I have to delete all these and re-put them down. Like that. There we go. Alright, nice. So now I can just mess with this. And we have our stuff. Our prefab for this now. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I think we have I'm thinking we have a dictionary where the key is the item ID and then the value is how much is in the storage. Well, actually, to be fair, we can actually just store the item prefab in here because is it hard to make a game? It's not easy. Item base stored item. What we can actually do here is public void set stored item. If stored item equals this dot, or actually let's make this a little more easy on ourselves. Not use the same names. It's not easy. Like it's a marathon for sure. What's up, Cookie? Open UI. We only really need to pass through stored item. Okay, so here's all of our logic for that. So first thing we do is null check this. If item equals null, then all we really need to do is set this image to clear, so there's no image, and then we set the item name text dot text to nothing stored, and then we can do the in stock text. We can do in stock 0. I actually want to do store, or yeah, we'll just do in stock 0. So there we go. Else, we do pretty much very similar to what we just did, but instead we do item dot item name, and then here we make sure we set it back to white when we close it. So we do item dot item image. Sprite. We want to set the sprite there. And then instead of in stock here, we are actually going to call shop manager dot instance dot get item count, and we want to pass through item dot item ID, and then that will get the item image for, or the item or that'll get the stock amount for us, just like that. We just add this here. There we go. So that will just grab it for us, so we can be lazy and not have to deal with it. We can even set this to a variable if we needed to, but we don't really need to. At least not yet. Okay, so now nothing's stored. Nice. Okay, next thing. So from now on, the game will. This is where it becomes hard, because like I said, we're not doing virtual storage. I'm trying to switch it from virtual storage. So when, for example, when I go to the vendor,
I've got any meat you will need. Just tell me what it is.
And I buy it, right? It just goes right into my inventory. Doesn't actually do anything. And that was really loud. I don't really feel like hearing that because that voice line sucks. Sound? Where is that being played? I thought that was being played here. Oh no. Alright, well, we're just gonna click you. And try to figure out where in the world you're playing your audio from. Oh. We'll just set that to none. And set this one to also none. Okay. So now instead... Oh, crap. I gotta redes... That's a... So now instead of just you getting the item will be added to the inventory information. So it will be added to the book that you own it, and you'll still have the item in your hands. But if you can't find storage, then what? Then you just throw it on the ground. That's kind of where we run into issues, but we'll see. Stream might be buffering. Oh, it's being weird again. About to just not stream on Twitch. I thought this multi-stream thing was, it wasn't a pain in the butt, and then it just started being a huge pain in the butt. So I'm about to just not stream on Twitch. And just Yahoo. Is it buffering at all, guys? I mean, it says it's buffering, but It doesn't look like it is. Okay, so we got the audio turned off. Okay. So when you actually buy item, did buy. Here's actually where we're getting the item. Which buy item I think returns back to here, I think. Oh no, add item. Add item is what wants the return. Because this lets you know if you even have room. But here's actually one player base dot instance dot set hand put item to hands. We actually want to do this. Okay, so there we go. So that's how that works. And if we go back to, we need to go back to player interactions. Player interactions. And what we'll do here is we actually do need this if statement again. But a different kind of type here. So I'm just actually going to copy this again. This will be if there's nothing in the hands. Storage, we don't want current displayed item. We want stored item. Stored item equals null. And we are holding something. We do that instead. Now I need to look at this and see how this works. And then we need to take this entire code and put it into the core. See the difference here. So you can pretty much just kind of copy this all over. Like that. Actually, it should work off the bat, I think. Yeah, I actually think it should work off the bat. Doesn't seem like we are lagging anymore, but who knows? It's kind of random. All right, let's test this out. So if we go and buy something from a supplier, it should now go straight into our hands. There we go. Boom. Put it in. There we go. We got one ham, and the book should say the same. One ham. There we go. Nice. So then I should even be able to do things like buy... Oh, enough. Okay, there we go. So now I have 8 hams. Okay. Now, see, this is where we're going to run into the issue, right? Because in the book, I have 1 ham. Now, see, that doesn't seem right. Because I feel like I should have more hams. I think it just let me buy all that ham, but didn't actually go anywhere. So, if player holding item equals null, stored item equals null, else, actually, let's make, since we're gonna have a lot of different functions here, let's do public string. And here, let's actually, we want item base, item. So this is actually, we're gonna change it to a holding item. So we're gonna grab the logic for a lot of this stuff here. So let's just do start, or let's add a start function here. Let's actually do private player base. I don't need to do that. That. Like that. Okay. So if player dot holding item does not equal null, so we are holding something. So then we do if player dot holding item equals stored item, then we want to return put item to storage. Else we want to return storage is occupied. That's so correct. Yeah. Storage is occupied, so and else we want to do, I don't have any. Else we just want to return interaction text. There we go. So instead of doing the if statement here, we just do storage dot get interaction text, and that will tell it what text to do. Oh, we need item. We just do player base dot instance dot holding item. What type of game are you doing? You run a medieval shop, like you're a medieval merchant. Okay. So now we're gonna need the same code here. We're gonna do it, but instead of returns, same items, different items. No item in player hands. So if there's nothing in our hands, we're just going to open the storage. If it's the same items, if it's the same items, we're just going to call drop items. And if they're different items, we're just going to return. Okay, yeah, that works. Another check we need to do is else if stored items equals null, then we want to run this code. And then else out of here, we're just going to return out of this whole thing. And then that should work, and then we can delete this. Actually, so what we could do here is we're going to drop the item. Nah, never mind. It has to be like that. All right, so let's try that out. Actually, let me do one thing. We're actually going to clear our save game, so we have nothing in our so we have nothing in storage at all. So we can kind of get like a clean slate with like the new systems. So, okay, one second. Meets. I'm gonna put his restock day to Monday, so I don't have to skip to the next day each time. So we have 500 gold. If I come here, oh, let's go shop data.inventory. Was what, empty? Yeah, it's because it was empty. Here, let me clear that to make sure that error doesn't throw again. Hope this works. Nope. If shop data equals that, let's do or. It's because it's null. There's no list yet, I think. All right, let's see now. I think it should be fine now. There we go. So we're holding an item. We're holding a ham. It goes up correctly. So if I take this over here, storage is occupied. That's not good. So that means something is storage is occupied. Oh, it's because I didn't add that other conditional. I should still be able to interact with this though. Yeah. Um, we'll add or stored item equals null. Then that will be fine there. Now obviously we're gonna have to load these. So I'm gonna have to give the probably have to do IDs similar to how I wanted to do the displays. They each have a hash. So it knows what display it needs to go into. You could even just remember save the position of what storage it's in. And then it can just get the closest one. That's just bad practice. But if I go into here, nothing. So technically, but not technically, the item is gone if I didn't have it in the book too. But yeah, we have to save where those items are at. And I think I can do the same. I think I can do this display. How I generated the this ID here. We can try. That's not supposed to go there. Go here. Okay. So we're gonna have to create a new save class. That will need to hold the ID of the storage and what's inside of it. So we're gonna have to go to shop manager and probably do the exact same thing we did here. And but it's gonna have to be store core, and we just do storage active storage, and we have these here. Active storage. Oh no. I didn't even think about that. Oh. What we should be doing is I should have the I need to know why these aren't serializing for one. I thought they would serialize, but they're not. So I'm trying to think of how I can do this. To make it not a complete headache. We just need to remember where they're at. Is all I think. Like so, the displays. Displays are adding themselves on the start to this dictionary. We can do What is this? No. No. How do I? No. So on their start methods, they add themselves to the shop manager like this, but I can't save this dictionary because it's going to try to save this object, and it can't save that object. It needs to save something about the object. Um, yeah. Like we know each storage container has their own ID. Um, I actually think that I don't think they should add themselves on no, but they should add themselves on start because like that's smart. Um, because if I build a system where people can put their own storages down, they should add themselves to start unless I add other functionality to it. But it'd just be easier if they add them to start. But it's just they need to um get like like they need to be correct. Um, I mean, I can make a storage class. Like we do public that doesn't hold like public that holds like public string ID um something like this sort of. It would literally just the only problem we'll run into is information about where it's at. Is about all I think. That because I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, that's about it. And then we'll have to update said thing when we refresh the information. So what we need to do is actually go into save load. Game data, supplier, shop data should really be public lists. Yeah, we're gonna do um stored item. Um bar. Hi man, so I'm working on a 5-minute site real fish. I try to release it as a paid resource. If it would be my first release, hope you give your opinion on this. Personally, no, I don't. Probably not. I think releasing your first scripts is for paid is kind of stupid, but at the same time, it's 5M, so there's a whole lot of garbage out there. So, I mean, with the current state of 5M and following a trend, you might as well just release it for free. But so, how about actually shop inventory? Wait, what? Oh, shop data dot inventory dot add. So we would do shop data dot storage dot add new data. Save load dot instance dot save shop data. Okay, let's see how this works. I have no clue if this is gonna work, but actually, let's do some more first. Add active storage. Remove storage. We should actually do public void set storage item. We should do string or storage ID. Storage ID, and we want string item ID. And then we're gonna want to loop through for and shop data dot dot storage dot count. Dot ID equals storage ID. Then we want to set dot stored item ID to item ID, and then we're going to want to save. So that should work even if we set it to null. Another thing we need to do here is um oh man, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm just gonna test it out and see what happens when I try to play. But to make a roguelike game, I don't even have to worry about saving. Okay, so let me look. What was saved here? Oh, that's interesting. Even system. I think that's why. How long have you been working on this game? I've had the I'm not new to Lou. I've been working on servers. That's why it would be for. Yeah, I mean, if you're not new, it's a little bit different. But even then, I mean, it's 5M, so. I've had this idea to make this game for a long time. It's just, and I started and restarted the project like 5 times. So I think this is the longest and the most work I've actually put into it. So. Aha, there we go. So it should have saved in here. Nice. But they also aren't getting saved. Wait, I'm not calling add active storage. Am I calling that in for here at all? Not really. I'm just thinking I have to call the I feel like I have to save the coordinates of where it's at. I have to. And then I have to get the closest one for that said, value. Or else how else am I going to iterate onto it? So I think actually now what I can do is do serialize field private game objects storage. I can instantiate them instead. So instead of actually, okay, yeah. Instead of doing it like this, I can Yeah, just instantiate them. And then let's add a little debug here. Update if input dot get key down key code dot r. I press R. We're going to add active storage. I should do public void create new storage. Well, actually, I don't think I'll need no. So here we'll do. So it's good seeing people work on something they always wanted to do all by themselves. I hope you finish this game. We'll all get to play. Keep it the good work. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Game object. Game object instantiate storage prefab. Oh, the only thing we're gonna have to do here is we are going to need to vector 3 chords. It has to have chords, or else it's kind of stupid. We're gonna transform parent. We'll just do this game object can be the parent. And then when that gets instantiated, actually, let's do. And then we're gonna want to add active storage. We're gonna want new storage. Dot get components. Store core, and it will generate an ID for itself. And then do that. And then another thing we need to do inside of start. So obviously we want shop data to equal that. But here we actually need to do for each. That's not what I wanted. For each storage and shop data dot storage, we want to can we close this, please? Yeah, that too, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and close that, and that, and that. Oh my gosh. Please close. Oh Lord, look who's here, a good old friend. Oh, what's up, Leeson? How you doing, man? I don't like the word create new storage. Let's just do create storage. So that will create the object. Now I'm thinking I want to do this here. So we're obviously going to need to change this ID just to public. We'll do it like that. I find a little bit stressed around because I guess it's okay. What about you? We're trucking along, making this game work. One line at a time. Closing this. Okay, so now this all will get ran. We could do chords, string ID. Aha! You know what we'll do here is an add active storage. Um, we actually will call our core. We'll call this here. And what we'll do is we'll go into here, and instead of on start, we're going to do public void set storage ID, string ID. If store, we'll do if this is empty or null, then it's expecting it to generate its own string. It's expecting to generate its own ID, else we set ID to storage ID. So what we'll do here is we grab the core, and what we'll do is if ID string dot, wait, hold on, I think I did that backwards. If it is empty or null, you just like this. Oh, actually, I don't need to do that. We just do core dot set storage ID and ID, and then that will set the actual ID of the storage container. So up here, we'll actually do create storage. And we'll do storage dot chords and storage dot ID. And that should create one at each spot. We won't have one to start with. So actually we'll just do if shop data dot storage does not equal null. Or dot count is not I think that will work if it's not greater than 0. Then that will happen. Obviously, it doesn't need to happen if yeah. if it is greater. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to copy the position. So when we press R, it should create the storage, and that should create the entire cycle to actually save the storage information. So we will see if it actually happens or not, or if I'm a psycho. I'm hoping it works. I forgot to disable the ones we already have. I should have added a print statement. Oh, I did create it. Where's it at though? That's 0, 0. Oh, we never set the position. Oops. Hold on. Yes! It actually saved it all. Nice. Oh my god, it's all wide open again. New storage dot transform dot position equals chords. Okay. So now we try it again, but this time we're gonna put an item into the box and then see if that saves. So now we at least know that that it's working when we spawn one in. Okay, so we press R. Here we go. It spawned in. Everything works. So then let's go over here. Oh. We're throwing. What are we throwing about? We're throwing about the shop inventory again? What's actually null here? Does it say count? Hold on. I think I know what's wrong with that. We also need to fix. Okay, so it threw that error twice actually. We actually should null check first, so that if it is null, then it will actually throw. It will actually go to that first. That should not be true. So or no, that should be true. We'll actually throw this first, and then it will skip over this. Instead, but now we need to figure out. So it didn't save because it threw, I think. So it should be fine now, I think. Oh, got an error there. I mean, it created the storage, so... Didn't save it. At all. Add active storage. Two, four, three. Let's just string dot empty. Didn't save it, so I don't have to delete that file. There we go. So I actually should just be able to grab this from my hand. It's in there. I pause. Okay, I mean the chords didn't save. Oh, I never actually added the chords to save. That's probably why. We can just literally do this dot game object dot transform dot position. This also didn't update, but it's all right. Let me clear the data. All right. Oh, gonna be on the chords, isn't it? It's on that again. Add active storage. 265. So that's where it's throwing. It's because this is null. So let's actually go into... That's all I did here, though. I don't understand why it's throwing here. Okay, let's throw in a try block. Forget, how do you even do this? I barely ever do try blocks. Ah, you do exception. And then I can print E. I think then that will tell me what is wrong. I think it's because I don't know. It could be because storage is null. I don't know. Oh, worked that time. Save the course. So let's close, reopen, and see if it actually spawns in the same spot. Oh, collection was modified. Enumeration operated may not. What? Hold on. I don't know what this error means. Mr. GPT is gonna help us out. What does this error mean? Okay, so apparently I'm trying to edit the list or edit the data as I'm saving or okay, I'm trying to modify it as I am editing it. That's the error. Which I swear it's this. I don't even need this active storage dictionary because I can just loop through my player object or I can just loop through my save object and find what I need based on that. I mean, it worked fine. So, I mean, it said may not execute, but it did. So, I don't know, it worked, so I'm happy, I guess. I mean, it worked again, so let's add an item to it. See, that's what's not changing. Is that's not changing, which I'm starting to think this for one is marked as static, which I think is fine because it's just the model. But are the IDs the same? Oh wow, we got 3 of them. Stored item. So the stored item's getting switched. Did any of these change? No, they're still all empty strings. Oh, that's set storage ID. Oh, we're not ever actually changing it. We need to do shop manager dot instance dot set storage item. We need to pass through ID, and we need to pass through new item dot ID dot item ID, and it should handle the rest for us. Now we just need to figure out why there was three save instances of it. Oh, you know what? Let me test something out real quick. It's not telling me how many times an error got called anymore, but I think it's because of the button. Or because the key press. Get key down. I think I need to do get key up. So it gets called when the key comes up, not when the key goes down. Because I think when you do the get key down, I think it's calling it each time. I just created a whole bunch. Oh my gosh. So at least that's working. Okay, so we spawn one in, and then let's... What's null here? 281. Oh my gosh, it didn't save again. What is going on? Why does it save like sometimes and then other times it doesn't? Like here, storage didn't save. Oh, it did. It's just throwing. Oh. It's just still this stupid... This. I'm gonna have to look into... the inventory. Because the inventory is fine. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, we actually generate it if it's null. So it is not fine. Oh, wow, I love this. I love programming. This is so much fun. I don't need to put it there. Love having two references for the same thing, pretty much. Aha. Boom. Boom. Okay. Now we actually need to load this to make sure it actually loads with ham. Did not load with ham. And for some reason it created another one. At the same course for some reason. Because it keeps getting modified. I don't understand. Something is... I don't know. I don't know what's modifying it, but... I'm gonna delete these. Storage, spawn, yield, return, new. Wait, I forget. Yield, return, new. Wait 4 seconds. 10 seconds. Probably too long. 5 seconds. Start coroutine. Okay.